going? Where you all been? Oh, that's right, I was gone for 3 weeks. Steve's not here to yell at me anymore. Steve won't be here today. He had a funeral in Memphis to take care of today. I don't know who yet, but we wish him, the family well. Well, welcome to Green, Global Real Estate Education Network, where we give away checks every week. I got about 5 of them here to give away, but unfortunately they're not here to get them. Only Les is here. Yeah. Only Les is here to get his check. Thank you very much. Yeah. You get money. You bring people in and you get money. It's very simple, actually, to do that. Who's JP Consulting?
Jamie.
Okay. So Jamie Lloyd gets another check. Robert Barnes gets another check, and Jeremy Tabor gets another check. So that's good. That's good. Most of you know we are a real estate education company with some wealth building and self-improvement. We do a live, interactive, online television. I call it television. Steve knows that. But we're going past that. This year, we're really going to expand. I was with a man today while he was in Houston or Austin. He has a group of about 100,000 people that he does his education business with through webinars and podcasts. He went to every one of our pieces of our website and loves what we're doing. Just says he's just blown away by, we can do this live, interactive, yeah, you know, and so we're not merging, but he's going to bring his group over, which is unbelievable. A couple of things we're planning on doing, I'm planning on doing, actually Marcus and I are working on it right now. All of our speakers I am taking the audios of Paulie Kazanowski. He did 18 45-minute shows for us. I'm not wasting those. I am creating a audio tape set that we're going to sell for Paul. Hopefully in the next 3-4 weeks we'll have a case in here with all these tapes to sell. Michelle Moore and anybody else, all our teachers that wish to have their audio tapes for sale, they can sell them themselves, or we'll sell them in-house here at the office, or you can buy them online. Video DVDs of a lot of our speakers. Personally, Steve Hayes and I talk about the future, but I live in the future. I mean, I can't live in the present. That's somebody else's job. I have books planned for all these guys. I mean, I don't have anybody wasted in this company. I mean, they've been talking for a year for us with almost no audience. I am rewarding that by all those archived tapes and books are going to be utilized this year. So that's my vision for Green coming up in this year. We are going to blow this thing out of the water. I just wrote I didn't write it, I borrowed it from somebody. Matter of fact, the CEO of FedEx. 10 words that he believes exemplify success in yourself. Belief. Believe in yourself totally, 100%. You cannot fail, and you won't fail. We talked to Hugh Hilton the other day. He says every morning, he talks to the universe. Here's a guy he's a $100 million man, and he talks to the universe. He puts his beliefs out there, says them every day, and even Tatyana's probably going to hit on this thing too. all these successful people believe 100% of themselves. Be humble. Great people don't need to be telling anybody that they're great. Actions speak louder than words. Have a vision. Vision is a new buzzword out there. I've been to many in the last month. We've been all over the country. No more should we be saying our goal this year is to do anything. Goals have beginnings and ends, and you constantly have to redo your goals. If you have a vision that's down the road, where your belief is down there, you're going to get there, and you don't want to be limiting yourself to having a goal. Be willing to take a chance. Steve and I have been taking a chance on this thing for 4 years. We don't stop taking a chance. We go out on limbs every day. I know you guys, we all do. This is real estate. We take chances every day. The more you take a chance, the less riskier or scarier it is. And, it's no more. It's taking a chance. It's normal course of business. I mean, I treat real estate as a monopoly game. My ex-wife apparently didn't. She thought of it as our money going out the door. But we have to be willing to take that chance every day and turn it into a regular course of business. One of the great things that we do here at Green is be a team player. Speaking of the team player, we just had one of the big team players in the back just came in. Yeah, you don't have to look around. We just had a couple deals here that happened with Wes, another team deal. That's why Kathy came here, because she kept seeing team deals happen, and she wants to be part of it. That's the beauty of the Green meetings here. And I'm hoping that we can get these Green meetings go all over America, because, geez, if we can do what we do here in our little town and multiply that with every city in the United States or that has a Green meeting, it'll be a fun 2018. Innovate. Keep 3 steps ahead of everybody. How do you do that? Well, read. Go to different meetings. Hear something. When you hear something cool, write it down and bring it to somebody else and say, hey, I heard this over here. Always be thinking of the next greatest thing out here. Airbnb. Airbnb is already 5 years old. Most people didn't even hear about it yet, and it's already 5 years old. There's 50 things past Airbnb that's out there already. So let's try to keep, ahead of the game. Read your Wall Street journals. Read these innovative magazines. Just don't go to one class at one place and think you're going to get all the information. We want you guys to bring as much information in as we hope to give out. Number 7, think globally. Oh, well, that's why we're named Global Real Estate. One of my coaches said, you're not global. How can you call yourself global? Well, again, I'm using my vision, and what I got to do is get somebody out of Toronto. I'm already global. So, let's find somebody in Canada, right? So somebody doesn't call me a liar for saying we're Global Real Estate Education Network. Global is very simple to get. We have plenty of friends all over the world now through some of the networking that we've been doing. It's easy to go global. Let's expand this thing out. Be prepared. I heard it's not proper to wake up in the morning and do your to-do list. Your to-do list should be made the night before you go to bed. Make your to-do list. What are you going to do in the morning? So when you jump up, you're already 2 steps out the door with your plan. Not let's have coffee and we'll sit and we'll think what to do. It's already too late. The early birds already passed you by. You know, I try to get up at the crack of 7:30. Steve's up at 5. In fact, if you want to find deals, you're sitting up here at 5:15, and Steve's already in that office cranking out deals. And we bought several properties this week, as did a lot of other people around here. They're not waiting around till noon time before they get cranking with their business. So let's get prepared a day ahead of time. Actually, we start making our bed in the morning. I mean, again, the first thing you should do is make your bed. Get you geared up for being prepared. Master your craft. Now, if you're a green member, your craft is learning what the website is about, learning all the tools in here. If you're not trying to sell green, learn what that is. If you wanted to learn anything you're doing, these guys are perfecting their craft out here, knocking on doors, perfecting their craft. I don't know, did he do a Tuesday night here last night? No, I think Steve was doing this thing, but let's perfect that craft. Don't let this stuff fall to the wayside over here. If you're going to do those boot camps on Tuesday, let's make sure you're here. If you're here, it will force everybody else to be here, because nobody wants to be falling behind. Okay? And then number 10, keep getting better. I mean, we got to do this every day. And one day, I don't see any young kids in here. Even this guy looks, he's not a young kid anymore. We don't have time to skip a day. I just turned 60, last week, 2 weeks ago. My dad's going to be 100 next week, so I figure I got 40 more years left. But we don't have the time, the luxury to skip a day of not getting better. We constantly got to be, every day we should be learning something, doing something, meeting new people, making your 10 phone calls, meeting people for coffee or lunch or whatever. But if we're not, when I do prison ministry, I see these guys and I say, how you doing? I'm maintaining, man. I said, well, maintaining's no good. If you swim halfway across the river and you just maintain your position, the river's still flowing down, and you're still losing ground. Eventually you'll be maintaining down the stream down behind, because there's people who are younger, faster, stronger, and better. They're going to be passing you up. So we have to be faster. We have to be better, and we have to be more efficient. You heard those 3 terms before. Than everybody else. Faster, better, and more efficient. That's what we're going to work on in 2018. And to do that, let's segue. To do that, we brought a trainer in here who will teach us how to be faster, better, and more efficient. Tatyana will help us double our business. No, let's be positive.
I am positive.
If they do their job, which we're going to make sure that they do their job, and we need, reinforcement. And so I'm going to bring up Tatyana. Well, before we do this, Les brought us these posters.
Another calendar.
Calendars that anybody could take if there's enough of them. I'll give them over here. So I'll let Tatyana come up. And she's going to give a talk on double your business in 1 year. Thank you, Tatyana.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for giving me the opportunity. I've been here the first time probably a couple months ago. It was right before Halloween, and I was running late because I didn't calculate the traffic. So I made sure today I left like an hour and a half. And I got here with only 2 people here. I'm like, I did it! So, and I'm known for being late. I don't know why, but they always say that the more people who are late are always successful, so we hope so. But anyway, and there was a good point that Mark made about, today about mindset. And there's, a little bit about me, who I am, so you will know. born in Russia. I grew up in St. Petersburg, Russia. Came here to United States 23 years ago. People always ask me if I was a mail order bride. I said, no, I came by plane, not in a box. So I received my degree in English and marketing. And so over the years, I became very interested in understanding how business works. And my first ventures were online. So I became internet marketer, publicist. I've worked with celebrities. I've done all kinds of fun stuff that you can imagine. And one year, my client asked me, are you a therapist or you are a publicist? So it made me think that I love coaching. So I became an accredited coach a few years ago. And so this is one of my passions today. I do coach real estate agents in Nashville from marketing to mindset. Because what I discover, especially with women in real estate, a lot of them suffer from direction, a lack of marketing, a lack of business skills to grow their business. And I think in any field, doesn't matter where you are, you have to have skills. And there's elements that you need to grow your business. And it doesn't matter if you are a dentist, if you are, investor, there's certain mindset that you have. And what I like what Mark said is about, to-do list. I don't call it to-do list, I call it can-do list. So instead of writing, okay, this is my to-do list, I shift my mindset and I say, it's a can-do list. And sometimes people say, oh, I hope this is work, or I hope my business meeting will go well, I hope I will get a client. I recommend to say, stop saying I hope, say I expect. You will immediately feel how it's changing within you instead of saying, okay, I hope this meeting will go well. If I say I expect this meeting will go well, or I accept this deal will go through, you immediately, like Mark says, you speak to universe. What you feel about yourself, if you're not confident, you will have situations and you will have deals that will fall through or it's not going to be the way you want it. So it's so important to do that. And number three, this is one of the things I do is I'm passionate about marketing. And how many of you like to market yourself? Okay. So some of us, have that shy moment. But we all want to grow our business. So how many of you do want to grow your business and double your profits? Okay, everybody does. So, but we say, but how do I do it? And, we talk about technology nowadays. My 13-year-old child knows more about Snapchat than I do. My son knows more about apps and technology on the phone and can show me anything on his phone I don't even use. And he would say, Mom, you don't know this stuff? It's like, no, I don't use it, but it can be helpful to your business. Because he has ideas. So if you look at the children in our, generation, or even with whole millenniums, they are in technology. And it's not about that we can do it, but are we going to do it? And majority of us will say no. We're afraid. We'll use, Instagram or Facebook just to look at the, recipes and look at different, photos. We may use the Facebook group to connect with businesses and maybe post about, real estate deal or, a lot of real estate agents now, professionals use, Facebook groups because they think, I'm going to I call it throw up my listing in the Facebook group and hopefully it will stick and hopefully somebody's going to pay attention. But so that today I'm going to show you how you can double your business in 1 year. Even sometimes you will see the difference in 6 months. So if we go to the next slide. So this is just what I found out. The alarming statistics, the number one reason a customer does not come back, they forgot about you. So if, majority of you in real estate, either you buy, sell homes, or you're in real. How many of you here are real estate agents? Any of them? Okay. So 95% of happy customer will purchase from competitor on impulse. That's statistic. For each month that you don't communicate with your customer, you lose 10% of your influence. So just imagine every month if you do not communicate. One of the things during the day that I do, I work in a legal field. I work with a real estate attorneys. I work with real estate clients. My job for my real estate agents is to educate them how to build a business. So, and do it professionally, legally, as much as they can, and know all the things they need to know to grow their business. So if we go to the next slide. And here's what I found out. Another alarming statistic, in 92 people were exposed to 2,000 commercial messages a day. Today we're exposed to 30,000, including Facebook. You know, that's why Facebook changed a lot of rules right now. If you notice that they want more engagement instead of constant ads, because people, you know, very kind of like upset about it. People don't trust advertising anymore, they avoid commercials. I don't like Facebook ads. I go to Facebook, you know, connect with friends. That's with social media. I don't want to keep seeing the ads all the time. If we go to the next slide. So a lot of us are looking for clients in the wrong place. Especially for the work you do, you have to be in your niche, right? So you have to determine what is your target market and who are you as a professional and as an expert. A lot of us want to be everything and put everything under one umbrella and think, oh, we're going just to be successful, but you can't do that. You have to figure out what is unique about you, what is your skill, even if it's just one thing, but you need to be the best in your field. So, interesting thing, and we talked about, you know, technology. How many of us are shy of technology? How many of you like Facebook, you know, apps and tools, and how many of you compute? Okay. The good thing, 67% of business today is driven by personal referral. So if you think that you need to have every app on the phone and every social media channel, look at that, 67%. That's a marketing research that's done by word of mouth. But the next thing, okay, say I know that. So what are you doing to attract referrals? What are you doing to maintain customer loyalty? 91% of customers say they would give referrals, but 80% have not been encouraged to do so. You know why? Because we're afraid to ask. We're afraid to ask. If we go to the next slide, I'm going to share a really cool tool today that hopefully it will help you if you decide to use it. So how I did it, many people feel valued by expressing appreciation and remembering their birthday. Build a know, like, trust relationship. How many of you like to receive bills in the mail? Okay, so how many of you like to receive greeting cards? The real mail, right? Something with, well, letters. Do you remember we used to write letters? You know, people don't do that anymore. The power of handwritten letter or note is forgotten. How many of you read the magazine Success? You can see it in a bookstore sometimes. It's a Success magazine. And right before Thanksgiving, there was an article, and you can actually Google the article. It was about the power of gratitude because it was right before Thanksgiving. And they said that gratitude not only increases your business, it actually reduces your stress and improves your heart condition. So the whole thing was about gratitude, how Warner University in California was doing actually research on that, how it's improving the business, and at the same time, how it's building relationship and also improving your health. So it's an amazing article if you decide to find out, just to see statistics and how you can use it, why handwritten letters and handwritten notes sent to your referrals or sent to your existing clients can actually psychologically affect the way people treat you. because you stand out more. So let's go to the next slide. So it doesn't matter how much someone knows, likes, and trusts you if they don't remember you when they're ready to make a buying decision. So how many of us have friends, but we're afraid to ask for referrals? How many of us have business colleagues that we go get a drink or coffee occasionally and we just need to chit chat about our children, but we're afraid to ask referrals? We just don't do it. And if we get a referral, what are we going to do with it? So how can we stay on the top of the mind? And it, you know, what I'm sharing today maybe sounds simple, but it's a proven year after year. So if we look at the next slide. Send a personalized greeting card. You probably think, oh, Tatyana, we're investors here, we're realtors, what are you talking about? But I'll explain why. Opportunities to remember someone who makes others feel valued. I love receiving greeting cards. Not just a greeting card. I had a friend who actually owned a marketing agency, and she kept sending me when I had death in the family in the summer, when my son was sick, or she sent me a card for sending her referrals. I love receiving the mail. I love receiving little gifts from her. You know what I did? I started working with her. It took me several months because I've been so busy, and I said, I want to learn what you do. Because I like online marketing. I said, I'm an online girl. I don't do this, you know, my handwriting is horrible, so don't ask me to write anything. So, but I love when we, as in business, what's number one? What can someone tell me? Why do people send you business?
They like you.
Because they like you. Mm-hmm. Is it because you're also better than anybody else? No. It's all about, as I said, it's all about relationships. And when we get reminded, I spoke with one realtor, very successful realtor with Parks Realty the other day. She's a good friend of mine. She's been about 5 realtors in Parks Realty in Middle Tennessee. And I asked her, I said, Beverly, what makes you successful? She said, I write 5 cards a day. They're all my referrals to people I network with and my clients that I sold the houses, or bought the houses from me in the past 6 months to a year. I send them reminders that I appreciate them and I hope they enjoy their home. Even if you invest or you buy and sell homes, and it's kind of like don't get attached, you have to remember people that contributed to that success. People that have helped you to get the job done. Maybe it's your handyman team. Maybe it's your roofer. Because what's going to happen, you're going to send them something that's going to trigger in their brain, oh, they remember me. And guess what? You're going to be on the top of their mind, and when something comes up, they'll be like, okay, this person, why? Because you kept reminding them. The same thing how Facebook works. People who get the most comments always in the top of a newsfeed. The same thing in the offline world. That's how our brain and everything works. That's how communication works. And when you send somebody a card, don't talk about your business, give me a referral. Don't ask, they will give it to you. Think about everything, invitation, holidays, anything, could be a referral gift. Always say thank you for referral. They may not be the people that can give you business, but they can send you a lot of referrals. And I will tell you, referral business is probably one of the best ways of growing business really quickly without an app. Because it's something you can control. Because it's something that you can go and meet with people, or connect with people on LinkedIn, social media, then have a meeting with them. Always take your social media communication to offline meeting. Create a mastermind group like you're doing here. That's what people really want. Give each other, edify each other. Edification is so important. That's another thing we're going to talk about. But don't mix this with marketing. That's not your business card. Always remember, why? Because you can always put a logo and your branding on the back of any card if you customize the card. Or if it's a letter you're writing to someone. Some people like letters. I like greeting cards. If we can go to the next tool. Okay, here's the statistics. This is a real campaign result that's been proven with using a greeting card system. Response of 7,000 members of loyalty frequent dining program who had not visited the restaurant over 6 months prior to receipt of the birthday card. So it's a new restaurant open. They all, have some time to say, register for the free meal on your birthday. Boom, the company collects the information. So what they do, what it showed, 1,600, 23% of members who received the birthday card visited the restaurant during their birth month. 880 members redeemed their birthday card. They got a free meal. I always, for some reason, get a free meal from Red Robin because my kids want to go there. So 720 members dined in the restaurant but didn't use their birthday card. In addition, the 7,000 recipients dined 1,750 times in the restaurant during the 5 months following their birth. So what happened? Made a total of 3,350 visits to the restaurant during their birth month and 5 months later. Cost of printing was $7,900. Incremental sales volume was $100. So what it shows you is something simple that we take for granted, but if we use it strategically, it's not just saying thank you, it's 7 to 8 touches, as they say, people will only give you business after 7 times. And especially if it's someone brand new. You can do it with direct mail. Okay. The most powerful marketing of all, people will never forget what you said. They will forget what you did, but they will never forget how it made them feel. The most important thing is, we say, but I'm in the construction, my business is just so plain, why do I need to do anything like that? But you know what? When I was selling my house this summer, I will tell you, it was the home that I lived for 16 years. And I decided to sell the house, but I needed a handyman, I needed a roofer to fix some things, And I asked my realtor, so she gave me, good referrals. But then I had to find some other people. And I send them so many referrals because they send me thank you cards to my new address for helping them with their business. And guess what? I referred them more business during the year. The same handyman guys that I still just talked to them the other day. I always refer them business. I don't get anything from that, but I know they are good, so I'm going to refer, and we build relationships. So it's so important just to think about one little thing that you can do. You don't have to use the app. You don't need to send a text. How many of us forget to look at the text receipt? I would say I'll get back to it later. How many of us put things on a calendar and we forget? So we basically forget to do those things. If we go to the next slide. How many of you know about Mary Kay Ash? Mary Kay Cosmetics, the founder. I actually, a few years ago, I met a trainer who was #1 trainer for Mary Kay. And he gave me her book, and he worked with her for 26 years, and he shared me an amazing story about her life. And he said one of the techniques, she always encouraged women to write cards, and so here she is. She taught her sales rep to send 3 handwritten thank you notes every night before bed. I know it sounds simple. You know what? I remember when I was in college, when I came to America in '94, there was no internet. You remember dial-up? You could sit in the library. Yeah. That's what I did, and I was excited. But I remember at that time, one of my teachers, I used to go to them, and her and her husband, every night, she would send people, her students, brand new students, they used to host students. They used to send every student cards. Welcome to college. We love you, we care for you. You know, later, years ago, this man's wife died, but he wrote several books. He sold so many books on Amazon and for the college. Of course, he donated almost all his profit back to the college because he said a lot of people, when he died this year, they said, you know, because of your thank you cards. So people, again, if you make people feel significant about something they're good at, you know, compliment them for their skills, compliment them for the value, compliment them for the growth. You know what? People need attention nowadays. We get a like on Facebook and we get excited. You know, oh, they put a like, oh, they put a love even. You know, we get excited, but, you know, somebody gets a card in the mail, we see it's either handwritten or has a picture of, if you, let's say, guys, go together and you close a deal and you contributed to each other and you take a picture together, smiling, and you put that picture in the card and one of you receives it. Number one, you're creating memories. Number two, you're creating friendships and you're creating referrals. I know it sounds cheesy, but it works time after time. What do you think people did before internet came? Think about it. People used mail. I remember that movie, You Got Mail. You remember? It was dial-up, and it was the most exciting thing about AOL. So anyway, so Tom Hopkins, he's actually one of the top real estate. He said, I think you will enhance your ability to get referrals or quality introductions if you build thank you notes in your business. And this gentleman is the #1 real estate trainer in the world. He said, I built my entire business through referral days because I kept in touch with people and I sent a lot of notes thanking people, handwritten and personalized. See, in our world today that's getting so impersonal, those little handwritten notes are worth their weight in gold. We'll go to the next slide. And so within 5 years, he went from making less than $50 a month in real estate to building an annual sales of volume of $14 million. Secret weapon, 10 thank you handwritten notes every single day. That was the strategy. Can we do it? You know, even if you go to Dollar General store and buy cheap cards and you mail them, what it matters is attention. If you don't like your handwriting, we have another option. 99% of his business by referral within 3 years. 99%. You know, I've done internet marketing. And they tell you, you're going to be lucky if you get 5% from all your leads sending you business. 5%. If you get 20% of every lead you get online, you're doing good. Here is 99% with a direct mail. If we go to the next step. So what he did, he said, thank you for talking to me. So his habits. Thank you for talking to me on the phone. Thank you for meeting with me. Thank you for your business. Thank you for your kind referral. Thank you for taking the time to consider letting me serve you. That's amazing. I think this is, we forget how to be gentlemen. Any of us. We're just like, oh, thank you, dude, you know, for the business, and we go on. Well, let's go grab a beer. You know, that's my thank you. No, thank you for taking the time to analyze my services. Even if somebody doesn't buy from you, you can show them, thank you for looking at my services, because number one, they were like, wow, you really took time. I'm going to use you in the future. We say no, it's not always final. No, it's final. It's just no for the moment. So thank you for excellent service you have provided, and thank you for our service and for using our service. So that's one thing that we forget. We think once we close our home, we sold our home, got our deal, the business is closed. Next. No. The moment your deal just finished, that's the beginning of your relationship with your client, not the end. Because that's where your relationship, if it's nurtured, it can bring more business. So, next slide. How many of you like to send cards to family and friends? I know women, I love to send great, and Valentine cards. I know it's kind of cheesy, but I do. And I send birthday cards, but I forget sometimes. And not many people like to give their mailing addresses. People are not, sometimes don't want anybody know where to live. But what if you had a convenient and affordable way to do so? How many cards do you need to send to stay top of the mind and be apart from your competition? Because even though you're all in the same industry, you still own your own community. You still have your own network. And you can build your business from developing from within instead of trying to chase everybody else. So here's what you're going to do it. But we often say, I can't afford marketing. Let me tell you, if you ever done Facebook, how many of you ever done Facebook advertising? How much money do you spend a day on a Facebook sponsor app? Exactly, because you have to be very targeted. If you make it too generic, yeah, you may get a lot of visitors, people looking, but they're not going to be quality people, right? And you have to do what? Then you have to sort through those cold leads. Then you need to do this, you have to make 10, 20 steps before that lead turns into the buyer lead or someone that is really serious. For that, you either need to hire a copywriter, professional person, and usually the copywriter that you want to create a $100,000 profit, for example, will charge you at least $10,000 to write an ad. And I'm just telling you from the professional marketing experience, if you hire somebody cheaper, you're not going to get any. Next. So you can't afford not to. Not saying thank you is even worse than actually saying thank you is good. If someone perceives you as ungrateful, they'll look at you in a negative light and they will never do business with you. So many of us, we go in the restaurant, for example, how many of us look at the waitress in a positive light? We expect them to serve us. We forget to say thank you. But they also in the sales business, right? And I spoke with a waitress one time and I gave her a tip and I said, do you know how to double your tips? She's like, how? I said, thank you. Say thank you quite often and smile. And she said, that's it? Yeah. I said, but you can offer dessert in the end. It will add more money to your tip, But people forget that their energy, it's the same thing. If I come in the room and I'm going to sing like this and talking negative, would you want to do business with me? No, most likely no. But if I am happy, radiant, and joyful, and I give that feeling to you, you will say, yes, I want to do business with you. You may not even know how skilled or valuable that person is, but should be open to discussion. So that's what the greeting cards do. They kind of like remind people that, number one, you matter, and it takes someone special to send it to them as well. So why keep current customers? That's very, very important. If you already have customer base, even if it's a small one, cost of retention of a current customer is 10% of the cost of acquiring a new one. So retention is very important. 5% improvement in customer retention equals, just 5% equals 20 to 85% improvement in profits. 62% of your customers are not taking advantage of products and services they offer. You know why? Because you never tell them. Usually that's what happens. I have friends who do handyman work. And I didn't know other stuff they could do. And then I found out it saves me a lot of money. And I said, wow, like I didn't know you can do that. Well, like, yeah. I said, but why didn't you tell me that in the beginning? 68% of customer defection is because they think they don't care. Next slide. The number one reason customers leave to do business with someone else, perceived indifference. Again, everything in our business is psychological, emotional. People don't buy business you offer, they buy you, they buy a relationship with you. You know, I meet often with bankers, with loan officers, and do you know why? Do they do business with us, with me and the people I represent just because we're better? No. Because we brought them lunch, we sent them thank you cards. We went out just to talk about life. We build relationships outside of work. It's all about relationships. But it's always good if somebody takes you out, your business partner takes you out for dinner, or someone that you know referred you a client that brought you a lot of money. Yeah. You know, send them, if you know they spend half of the day working on the computer in Starbucks, send them a gift card to Starbucks. If they brought you a client that gave you good, you don't need to spend $100 on a Starbucks card. You can put $25 on a gift card with a thank you note, and boom. People will say, okay, that's so cool. I'm going to give them more business. They will care. Become a champion of thank you note sender. Who doesn't thank for little will not thank for much. I love that folder. Okay. Case study. He did a great job. I know, I like and trust him. Offer other services I could use. Roof, gutter, cleaning, walkway, driveway, pressure washing. Has more work than he can handle himself and wants to talk about business. But I haven't heard from him since May 2009. So for each month you will make contact, you lose 10% of your influence. So think about all the people that you have been in touch with in the past year. Start getting, you know, getting your, even if it's just getting on the phone, or send them a card, or something. Okay. Case study, window washer. Oops, how will I remember his name and how do I contact him? Will he get my repeat business referral? It costs a lot more to acquire new customers than to retain existing ones. And it's true, when I've done direct response marketing online, one of my mentors who worked for Forbes magazine, she told me, she said, you wouldn't believe how much I spend money on getting a client. But she said it's actually cheaper to maintain them and by giving them value. And in direct response marketing, especially the people who provide services for business owners, what they need to do is just give the value, give valuable information. If you're on social media, give people valuable tips. If you're expert in your field, you don't need to be expert and know everything, but find other people who can bring the value. And that's something else I can talk sometimes. So, okay, next. Window wash idea. Send 4 stay in touch cards a year using automated campaign feature. The cost is only including shipping at $6.56 for customer. Is it worth to spend that money on someone who can bring a business? Yeah. In return on investment, service visits about 200 to 500. Return on investment worth $6.56 to keep a customer and attract referrals. So if you think about it, if you send 4 to 5 cards a year, just to one person, and you spend $7, it can bring you good business. If you do that, instead of spending $350 a day on Facebook ads, how many cards can you send for $350? And it's something you can do and actually ask the children to be involved. So that, which I always get my 16-year-old, I have 2 boys who love to earn money. So they're like, can we help you with the business? Okay, here's what you're going to do. Okay, what's next? we call it law of attraction, but it's an example of a card that was sent by November Blanket and Co-Drive. It's a card that you can use, for example, somebody was using, I'll be collecting coats and blankets and be donated to homeless shelter. And it could be some business. And what they did, number one, they used the indirect approach. They send to the local, maybe, to the neighbor. They got maybe a list somewhere. And so they send to all the neighborhood. But what they did, they promoted themselves by doing a good work, by doing something as charitable. So again, it helps people to see that you're doing something good in the community. Okay, what's next? December 25th, that's another one about toys. Again, drive for toys, where people pick up toys for little children or especially before holidays. Okay, what's the next one? Again, example of someone for the needy family. If you want to contribute and do something in charity work, it doesn't have to be a part of a big organization, but what it does is you decide to whom you're going to send. Maybe your community, maybe if you're in real estate, maybe there is a community you want to build relationship in and build your business in. You go and send it to that specific zip code or the, let's say, subdivision. So you can actually get those, what we call it, mailing lists through a lot of marketing companies. They're not expensive. They may be $50 bucks. So they're not cost a lot, but what's going to do is going to be a great marketing for you. Okay. The average prospect will not do business with you until they have seen or heard from you 7 times. That's what they say. On social media, it's even more. We think social media, but because people are getting overwhelmed. There's so much information. We have overload of information. Okay, let's send a card. The company that, honestly, what I started using, I used this company 7 years ago. And I was at that time, I was internet marketer and doing online publicity, and one of my clients was the travel company. And so what I did, I used send out cards to send cards to my clients, just saying thank you. That's what I used it for, because it was easy. I could go in their system, put their address, and it will mail it to them with a gift or just by itself. And then I used that system also to send cards to my parents in Russia, which was funny because my parents would never get the cards. It will get lost in the mail, and what happened is that it's kind of a funny story. But if I put the pictures of my kids inside the envelope, the Russian postal mail think I'm putting the money, and they will open those envelopes thinking there's money there, and just my their kids' pictures. Their grandkids, and so they will never get those cards. And so I started using that. I will upload the picture of my kids now in the card, and now they will receive them every week. So it was like I tricked the system. So anyway, and if you heard about send out cards, it's a marketing service company that anybody in any field, if it's nutritionist, if it's a realtor, they can use. So it costs $1.17 to use a card, 47 cents, and through the system, you can upload your postage and how much you want to spend a month on the cards, and $6.56 per person a year. Okay, we'll go to the next. So they have pre-written campaigns. This company in the back office have pre-written campaigns for every single profession, from real estate. How many of you in real estate do expired listings? How many of you sold expired listings homes? Okay. They have a campaigns in the back office that's specifically for expired listing. A lot of one of the top Keller Williams agents use this company to get $1 million listings with the service. And he actually wrote a book. And today what I wanted to do, if you have your business cards, we can put it in a bowl, and whoever, I'll pull the name, and whoever, and I'll send you a book about how, as a gift, somebody's going to award the prize. It's about how this Keller Williams realtor is actually teaching the strategies in the book, how to sell $1 million listing homes with, expired listings with direct mail. Okay. So this is just examples. We'll go like keeping in touch, and this is, if we can go to the next. This is just examples of cards. So you can customize every card with your handwriting, with your font, with everything. Okay. So you can send Christmas cards for your clients. If we go to the next. So this is a campaign that you can use. And it's for anybody in service business. So you can send the campaigns, you can upload your clients list in our database. It will customize with your handwriting, with signatures, with your brand on the back of a picture, on the back of a card. You can upload if you've done a closing with a client or met with a client, you took a selfie, and you forgot, you can put in the card and send, "Hey, it was a pleasure meeting you." And there's campaigns that we teach people specifically with our marketing service how to use it. So, if we go, so here's my website, and you can look at what you're going to do. This is for you to get how to send a free card. You can also, I want you to try this in your app, in your Google store. If you go where you get the apps, we don't like to use them, right, much. But they have an app to send out cards. You can download that app. You can actually, they misspelled my name wrong. It's Tatyana. It's a Tatyana. I thought I saved it, but they spelled it wrong. So it's a Tatyana. And you can send a free card to anybody. So it's my gift. Anybody can send a card to your client or someone. You can choose anything you want. With the app, it's the same thing. Let's say you met with someone, you had a dinner. By the time you get home, you may forget, right? The moment you get in a car, you look at your phone, you got an app, boom, you can get the address, especially if they give you a business card, right, where usually they put an address, even at their office. It doesn't have to be their personal home address. Boom, you send the card to the app. All it will do, will put the name, it will go into your account with the app, and you will be able, if you become a customer of the company, you will have your own app, and it will put everything, all the information. You can upload all your customers as well. So when you're done, boom, you send it out, and it's mailed. You don't have to do anything, it's mailed the same day. So if you want to add Starbucks, they have a gift shop, or like a big online store where you can say, okay, I'm going to add them a gift card to Starbucks or, Target, if it's someone who just, you help to buy or sell a home, something for the house. So this is a very simple system that I personally use, and I like it. And I have more and more people that actually in real estate love the system, that I've talked to a lot of realtors, because they look at this as something that's affordable, something that they're already doing, full write-off financially, tax-wise, and it's building a business. And this company also offers what they call, affiliate. So like if you refer people, they will send you. So some realtors that I talk to, they say, I don't have a marketing budget. I don't have much money to spend on my marketing. So they give you opportunity. For a dentist, you talk to your dentist, you show them the app, and they say, oh, I really like it. They can use it, and the company will send you a check, just a thank you, just for being a referring partner. And so if you want to talk to me, please feel free. I'm sorry it went over a little bit, but I knew that It's automated system, so everything online, to do your all offline marketing. So, thank you so much, guys. I hope it was helpful.
Thank you, and here's a little gift, here's a little thing for us for
Oh, thank you. I love
Here's
peach chain.
I know,
I
everybody
love their
does.
wonton soup. It's my favorite.
They say like their eggplant thing, but it's not that.
You know, that works because there's a mortgage lady out there, and about once a month we get a gift. Just a little pretty gift. It might be brownies, it might be something to put on your desk or something. And she's been doing that for 4 or 5 years to me. It makes me feel okay.
Well, see, you see, that's what I was gonna say, is why I like Les. See, he comes in and he gives me stuff. You know? And you talk about the calendar of people's birthdays, what cheaper way to do that than with Les and Nikki's gift here. I also love, see, and you can see I appreciate your gift
That's right.
of matches, because he knows I like my cigars, and I keep them up there proudly, and I think of Les every day. That's a funny thing I do. I see that thing over there. I know, Mickey, you probably came out of one of those crappy houses you buy. And basically I think of you every day. The same with Tatyana, Kathy, when she came here. Geez, the next day I get a letter in here with a Starbucks. I don't like Starbucks personally, but I get a Starbucks. That works. Funny story is that was this morning, and yesterday's conversation on our morning green meeting is to get our drip system finally working, to get those messages out there. I talk to these send a card people all the time. We all know. I can't believe you guys nobody raised their hand that says I don't do expired listings. I mean, that's real estate 101. I don't care if you're an agent or whatever. I mean, your database for, you say you do 25 homes a month that you buy, send all those people a thank you card for, sorry you lost your house, but I made a good bit of money on it. If you know anybody else losing their house, I may be able to help you, give you a stroke back, word it in your own words. I use Doc to edit my words all the time. But
But talking about expired listing is like you have to know how, or anything, you have to word yourself. You cannot be promotional. If you want to show like compassion, you have to show gratitude. Talking about thank you notes, gratitude, if you're grateful every day, it actually reduces fear and anger. And so it actually helps people to be more successful in business. That's why the thank you card, what they do for you personally, number one, it reduces your fear of going forward and also reduces your anger, because you cannot be angry and grateful at the same time. So if we're frustrated about our deal that I didn't go through, say, hey, I'm thankful it didn't go through. Maybe it wasn't meant for me. There is something better around the corner. But we whine and complain about something that didn't go through, because we didn't get that sale, we didn't get, that commercial deal we've been working on for months. And then because we get so, but maybe we should still send thank you notes to people who involved, because down the road, they may actually bring you better deals. And that way you don't have that bitterness. The bitterness is that's what kills business.
we are 100% going in that direction, as you're saying. Thanking the people who joined. I don't know. Did everybody get their last? Kathy, you got your welcome package?
Yes.
Now, we wanted to make sure that we finally got this out, and thanks to Eva, we finally got this out about, I wanted to put, my original thought was, hey, everything's on the website, but people like to touch things. If you notice, here's a 3-day pass. Give to one of your friends, and they get unlimited access to all the training on here, and there's some good tips. Again, know your product. You know, this is a nice thing, then we have 2 or 3 more of these going out. So we want to thank you.
I'm doing the
Yeah.
going for 2 people, and I just want to make sure if you didn't have your card.
Does everybody have your card in the bucket?
I'll put your name on the sticky note and put it there. It doesn't matter. So I want to make sure everybody gets equal chance. And if you're not in real estate, give that book to somebody else.
Anyway, any questions? Any deals? Any guys have any deals this week?
Does make you think.
Yeah, everybody's being quiet about giving out
It's a
deals.
memory jogger of people to thank, because I had a guy call me about a deal, and it went someplace else, but I can thank you for at least thinking of me.
All right, anyway,
We got 2 out right now for deals. Talk about deals.
come on up here and tell us. All right, hold on 1 second. Quiet on the set.
I know some of you guys have seen it already, or checked out some of the things we got out there. We've got one out in Charlotte Park. That's a 2-bed that needs to be changed into a 3-bed. Right now, I think it's a 186 is what we have it out at. We've got another deal in North Nashville. That's a 3-1 that needs about 40. Both of them need about 30 to 40K in work. And that one is at 151 right now.
Any acreage on there, or just lot sizes?
I have to double check through the packets that I have on them. I know the North Nashville is a fairly decent sized lot, probably for that area. Probably like 0.3 acres. I don't know the dimensions on the lot. The one in Charlotte Park, I know, is on a much smaller lot.
All right, well, anybody know Katina? I know she had 4 properties, 1700, 02, 04, and 06 on Skip Pack. What's up there at the North Nashville there? Right next to the cemetery, the Oak Hill Cemetery. She has 4 of them right in a row. So if you guys want to contact Katina, she was trying to make a deal with them this week. Anywho, any other questions we have? All right, listen, invite some people here for next week. Doc, who is next week's speaker? Tell us who's coming up in the next couple of weeks.
I'm actually prepared for you this time, Mark.
Oh, good deal.
All right, just a second here. Marcus, can you switch over to the other flyer that we have up on
Before you get too far, Doc, Wednesdays, I tell you, it'd be good to pay attention on Wednesday, 10 o'clock this morning. Sharon Restrepo from West Palm Beach, Florida. And it was quick 20-minute little lesson. Either she has a property to sell and she'll manage it. She'll actually fix them, staff them, and property manage it for you. Matter of fact, I asked for a condo down there today, so she's looking for a condo for me down there. But if she doesn't have anything off market to sell, she does a little 20-25-minute education for us. And it was condo docs, how do you buy a condo, looking into the condo docs and all the fees and all the ins and outs. Fabulous stuff. Of course, you can watch it on the rerun, but Sharon at 10 o'clock is fabulous. And Michelle Moore, I was traveling. How was Michelle today, Doc?
Michelle actually comes next week. She alternates back and forth with Larry Cox. Larry did a really good presentation on private mortgage insurance, which was very good.
PMI, or as we call it, PMS, where they just hit you for another $200 a month for no reason at all. Because they can. But anyway, I asked Andrea to really dig into finding some educators with some series, 4-part series kind of things, and So he really did a good job of finding that and other things that we have coming up. So who do we have, Doug?
Well, the immediate speakers are going to be coming up next week. Tom Rutkowski, he's going to be talking about safer investment alternatives. Basically, you've made money in real estate. Now, how do you take some of that money and set it aside in a safe environment where it can make money for you? That's what he'll be talking about next week. In fact, I was actually working on helping him with his presentation today.
And Tom, as you know, he did that life insurance for money guy.
Yeah.
And when he talks about a nice, safe little investment for you in a passive income, Tom usually tries to talk about 16 to 22%. So he's not in the that 7% safe market. He's in the higher brackets of investing in real estate and safer markets.
Yeah, he's really a sharp cookie. So we have him coming up next week, and then after that, Susan Hicks Thetford, and she's going to be talking about real estate business in the digital age, and it deals with generating 10 times the leads and using the social media in your toolkit to do that. And then Tatyana is going to be back. This was actually the presentation that was going to be tonight, but we knocked it back a couple weeks. And she's going to be talking about the mindset that you need to achieve success. And so I'm really looking forward to that one. I think that's something we can all benefit from. And that's the immediate. But I can tell you this, Mark, I'm scheduling people out into June already.
And all you people in this room know somebody who has a great message to put out. I'm asking you, just either just call Doc and say, hey, I just said I find somebody on Facebook that I didn't even talk to yet. I said, hey, check this guy out. He said, did you at least talk to him? No, I didn't talk to you. Talk to him. But if you know somebody who would be great speaking up here, I would like Lloyd to come up here and do a whole presentation for us. But anybody up here, because everybody has a good message no matter where they are in life. There's slots for everyone in the Green Network. So any other last thoughts? You're all mostly members. If you ever want to join up, just call up. We're going to pick a name. We have two? Who do we have?
Kathy Brody and Jeff.
All right.
So, if you can give me your mailing address where you want me to send the book, I would be more than happy.
And you'll be on their mailing address list forever.
You can do PO box if you don't want to give your home address. And I'm not going to harass you with a mail.
Okay. Anything else, Andre? Anybody else out there that wants to ask a question online? Last chance. Anybody here? All right. Well, thank you very much for coming. Stay and mingle. Enjoy. Make some deals. Take some of these calendars out. We also have a calendar in our book. Thank you very much, and good night.